The thing about art is you're always trying to make it look effortless, like it just breathed itself there, like it just blossomed from a seed into a flower. That's what you want to do. So you work very hard to get that easy look in your work. And then people look and say, oh, that's so easy. It's not.
Mary Shaffer has been pushing the limits of glass art since she burst upon the art scene in the early 1970s. Since then, she has continued to experiment with found objects, fusing and slumping techniques. And today, she is honored as a visionary by the American Craft Museum.
The reason I like glass is its responsiveness to heat, its responsiveness to gravity, one of the strongest forces in the universe.
Perfect, perfect, I love it.
Art is how Shaffer expresses her ideas. She believes in the Buddhist philosophy of the river of life.
It's working with nature and using the forces of nature. It's all the same flow flowing in together. It's like taking the heat and the fire and using that to transform and change and grow into something else. It's what I call the female principle of working with nature, not man over nature. But it's also about play, because when you're a child, you play really strongly and you completely forget reality. So it's like being deeper into reality. You see this very strong shape from far up, and then you go up to it like a painting, and you go up to it and you see this amazing surface and depth in it. I like the water-like bubble quality and the layering of transparency. What's really fun is disappearing into my work, which is what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's like escape. I've been doing it so long, 25 years, I can get pretty much whatever form I want, but it's always a delight. You open it up and you see things that you haven't seen before, or just the fluidity of gravity making a shape. That's why it's fun for me to put these things into bronze, because you can't make that bronze by your willpower alone, but nature can make those forms, and then you transpose it into bronze and it becomes this amazingly fluid, natural kind of a shape.
Shaffer sees glass as a way of holding light in your hands.
I like to use clear glass because it responds directly to light and it augments light.
Working with tools today, Shaffer is returning to a thread she started more than 20 years ago.
I like to find these amazing tools that people have individualized. This spoon has been repaired in 4 places with a nut and bolt. This is a sharpener for a saw blade.
Tools are the artifacts of our culture. Shaffer's tool walls celebrate our heritage by honoring the craft people and techniques which were once used.
The hooks in glass came out of an earlier part of my life. An unyielding force with a fluid yielding one. It's masculine, feminine. The female is often yielding and supporting and molding her life, changing her last name, changing her location. Now, I'm actually in a very spiritual, peaceful place in my life, but I'm taking an image and doing it objectively and clearly.
Shaffer has created many large commissioned works. The 6-ton steel and stone piece, Fourth, is in New Jersey at the Grounds for Sculpture.
There are 4 giant metal columns, steel columns, rusted, that are compressing and pushing against the stone, which is flowing out of it. 4 sides are smooth, so it's compressed, it feels a compression, and 4 sides are rough hewn so that you feel the stone as if it's fluid like my glass.
Mary's work is in collections including the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the American Craft Museum, and the Museum of Modern Art in Kyoto. This piece, Formal Aspects, is at the Berman Museum in Pennsylvania. The steel columns were found objects. Between them, Mary wedged a giant stone, creating a monument to the collapse of Greek civilization.
I like to juxtapose 2 things together. Now it happens to be tools, or it's usually metal, or it can be steel and stone. I like the unquiet harmony created by two opposites. Because that's sort of what life is. We're this entity that's self-contained and happy and separate, and then we're having to try to mingle and connect with opposites and with unknown beings and institutions.
For 25 years, Mary Shaffer has shown a tenacious commitment to her work. She will continue to surprise us.
One thing that makes working so much fun is that you never know what's really going to happen. You never know what you're going to do. I think that I just get better and better. I'm expecting to do my best work when I'm 70, my late 70s, and all of my 80s, and probably a little bit into my 90s. And then the end of my 90s, I'll probably take it easy.